I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is the
Family Showdown! Welcome back to my top 100 games of all time 2021 edition. And today, Hunter and I are going to go through my 40 through 31. Woo!
The second worst of the best.
I don't think that's how that works. But yes, we are going to go through 40 through 31. We shall see. I don't think you're going to like this set as much.
Why is that?
Because last time you were practically like, oh, it's all heavy games. Ah.
Yes, it was. I was very impressed. You had one like outlier last time, but other than that, it was really good.
Okay, Mr. Outlier. We'll see how much he likes this set.
Oh, I can't wait.
My number 40 was my number 80. It bounced up with a more recent play, Empires of the North. Now, this is Imperial Settlers, and this is kind of like their sequel, I guess, to the first basic Imperial Settlers. And this game takes that original game and kind of streamlines it a little bit. And it's got some different people groups. And I don't know, it works so much better. You're still building up your colonies, and you have your sets of cards, and you're making like your little production factories and stuff. So you're trying to build up all these different things so you can get buildings and stuff that give you victory points. And it's just so much smoother and even more fun to play than the first one, which I never thought I would say. But this one is so much fun. It's like jumped up my list. And what can I say? And this is not super attacky also.
It has a little bit of attack.
It has a little bit, but nothing that's going to be like total dramatic game changer stuff. My minor setback sorts of things. So
it's all right.
And there's the reaction
I like the action selection system. That's good.
Yeah, it's fun.
The little moving the tokens around, selecting your actions. I like going on the little voyages or whatever you call them.
Yeah, which is, I don't think they had that in the original, right? I think that was part of the new stuff.
Nothing really like that.
Yeah.
And and I like that you carry over your resources instead of losing them.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even mention that. Yes, because that was one of my biggest pet peeves is like you got to spend everything or you're just toast. And in this one, you get a little bit of a carryover. You can actually all that storing up for those big, huge ticket items, and it's not that big of a deal anymore in comparison.
Yeah.
So much nicer.
I like this one better, but that's not saying much. Wow. No, it's a good game. I enjoy this one. But, yeah.
Huh. My number 40, clearly not his number 40. It is very fun.
It is fun.
And it's
I actually enjoy that.
Medium light.
I
not super heavy.
I enjoy that one.
My number 39 is pretty much where it's going to stay, I believe, because it was number 42 last year. So it's almost exactly in the same spot. And that is the cute but amazing game of Targi. Now, this is the expansion box. We broke down and bought the expansion that came out. When did that come out?
Not too long ago.
Not too long ago at all.
Anyway.
Yeah, in the US. And the base game is fantastic. So you don't necessarily need this, but we really enjoyed the new expansion with this. And it's funny because it was a long time in coming. Target came out way before now, and the expansion is very recent. But what they put in there is a lot of fun. Targi's a neat little game. You got a bunch of different cards up in a grid, and you've got kind of a little set of tiles around it, and you're going to set your meeples on the edges of it, and you're trying to do where things crisscross are going to be where you're going to be selecting the objects that you're going to get. And we can't have overlap and things like that. So there's like some little rules with how you place them. But you're going to get cards that give you some kinds of victory points, or you're going to be getting resources, and you have your own little area where you're setting, cards aside. So it's really fun, just kind of a little back and forth 2-player game. A lot of fun. And then the new expansion adds some fun to it too, a little extra. Like if you're not liking your options on the board, you kind of almost have like a little sub track that you can go and try to get some other resources to kind of help bounce back, and some other little miscellaneous things like that. But I really like the little sub-track that you have to go and get things. It almost feels like a
sand something or other?
Yeah, and they give you little perks that you probably wouldn't get otherwise if things were blocked out.
Dune.
The sand dune, fancy. So yeah, it's really good. And there's other ways, and it's one of those things where you have to make the decision: do I want to go over there and do that? It's kind of like big risk, big reward kind of thing. Because sometimes there's great stuff over there. Sometimes it's kind of costly, if I recall. And so you're choosing to, which board you want to do stuff on. And it's one of those games with good choices, and it's a great go-to 2-player game. It plays really quickly. 1 hour, it says. I would argue, well, with the expansion, probably, yeah. I think with the base game, though, it was less than that when we were playing it.
Depends on how often you play and all that.
Oh, that's true, too. First play, yeah, of course.
I find it interesting that for this game is kind of, I don't know, I consider it light, but most people probably wouldn't consider it light. How much turn angst there is on people blocking you and messing up what you want to do. There's so much of, in a lot of worker placement games, you have oh man, I hope they don't go there, but there's other things I can do. But in this game, it's like, I really don't want them to mess up. I need that card really bad, and they mess it up.
Well, I think that's why the expansion's so good, too, because it helps take away some of that. But you have a little bit of some other options, maybe? I don't know.
But this one has a lot of, it's interesting. It's a good one. I enjoy that. It's one of my favorite strictly 2-player games.
Yeah, and this is a go-to game for us a lot because it is so much fun. Targi, easy to travel with.
Targi.
That's right. My number 38 dropped a little bit. It was my 24
That's
last
more
year.
than a little bit.
It's okay.
Out of the 20s into the
30s. Yeah, it's not so bad. Not so bad.
That's a pretty big drop.
But it's one of my faves, of course.
Oh dear, the blocks that won't shut.
That's why I'm holding it tightly.
I got you.
The pursuit of
I
happiness.
got you, boo.
So this game, oh my gosh. Okay. This is like the game of life for gamers. I don't know. When I was a kid, we played the game of life all the time, and it was hysterical. Ha ha ha! You inherited a skunk farm. All the ridiculous stuff you had in there. You're driving around doing stuff. This game is like the gamery version of this. You start out as a kid, go to school, and do all this stuff, and start to get a job. You might decide to go to college. You start picking up some hobbies, and you're working. Do I want to work some overtime? It makes you age faster. Adds stress. It's just hilarious. So there's stress that you're balancing versus like how old you are and stuff as you're aging, and you get to do all these different things. You get to join clubs, and now they've got like community expansions. And if you decide to go bad and rogue, you could go and turn to a life of crime. There's all sorts of crazy things in here you can do. Oh gosh, it's a riot. I love it. It's worker placement or action selection, I guess. You don't really block anything, but you go in and you're trying to get some resources and stuff so that you can go and do some of your favorite activities, or maybe you need to get a certain amount of income to woo your future spouse, or support your family, or support your crazy, expensive, weird, unique, creepy doll collection, or whatever. They've got some crazy cards in here, and they're hilarious. I mean, the varieties are practically endless, it seems like. We've even had cards that show up with board game collections and things. How interesting. So yeah, it's so fun. We kind of role play as we're playing along with it. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. And we've got, I think, every single possible expansion
I think we have everything at this point. It's ridiculous. This box
it's so dense.
So full.
I think it's the densest object on the planet.
Here we go.
Did it do it?
Yes.
Oh dear. I'm shocked it didn't just go.
Yeah, I like this one. This one's fun.
Oh,
it's one of those
so much fun.
It's one of those games where at the end you kind of look down and go, oh man, I did this and that, and I did all these other things.
What a beautiful life, man.
But my favorite thing about this game.
Oh gosh.
So you can have relationships and date people and get married and have kids and stuff, right? With one of the expansions, I think you can have kids.
Yeah.
But you can date multiple people at the same time. It adds all the stress. It adds all the stress. It's hilarious.
It is all the stuff that you can do. Like you can make these choices that cause stress. And what else causes stress? The density of this board game box. It is chock full of all the expansions and stuff.
If you
to make
set
it
up the
fit.
game with everything, it's
table
ridiculous.
hog.
All the stuff that there is.
Huge table hog. It's ridiculous.
Not only is all the extra boards and stuff, it's all the extra play area you have in your own spot. It's just crazy, all the stuff in this thing. But it's fun. It's a hoot and holler.
It is a hoot and holler. It is. And if you always enjoy the idea of the game of life, it's really fun to like do the entire span of your life, because after you retire and whatnot, then it catches up with you really fast.
You die.
You do. You die. It's so sad. No, but it's funny the way like the whole game goes down. I just absolutely love it. It's unique play every single time. Very entertaining. All right. So this one's a little less silly and a little more mystical. My number 37 was my 39 last year. I think it's settled its home for at least a little while here. And that is the heavy hitter of Mystic Vale. Okay, we have the ridiculous box. I don't even know what else to call it. Look at this. I can't even palm the side of this box. This is insane. Look at this. It's insane. This is like one of the first big boxes we got, and now this one's small. I don't know what they're doing, but it's getting crazy with these jumbo-sized boxes. This one's set up for expansions that I don't even know. We have so much room in here still, don't we?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. Make something. But what's cool about this game? Why is it so high on my list, you ask? Well, I really, 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 really like the mechanism of card crafting, because now you're taking a deck builder concept, but doing with individual cards. So you've got these nice thick sleeves, and you've got cards that have different parts of them printed or different abilities and different whatnot, and you can slip them all in together and make like a super mega card out of them, or add certain perks to them. Some might have detriments because they have such good perks. There's all sorts of things going on with it. And then you've got your base deck. The majority of your deck is blank, and then there's a few money cards in there, and that's what you start with. And of course, you go through, start buying stuff, start crafting your cards, and you can decide, do I want to scatter all this greatness through my deck, or do I want to have a few like high power cards to start with so I can just really crank out some amazing turns? You get to choose those sorts of things. Meanwhile, you're going for, there's also, besides the tableau of cards that you're pulling from, you've also got these areas that give you other victory point stuff based off of other symbols on the sides of the card. There's a lot of extra little fun gameplay stuff that's going on besides just building the deck and trying to produce those. The victory point cards are kind of interesting too, because sometimes they'll just give you straight victory points, but also sometimes they give you little booster things to help you with symbols for buying more of them, and kind of giving you a little bit of an engine for that as well. It's really cool. And then their expansions do other things to it. I think one of the latest ones had like a day-night feature, and you could do certain things with certain cards at those times. So there's a lot of stuff that's involved with it. The base game, though, is great by itself just to start with. You don't have to go like whole hog, get crazy like this. To enjoy this game and have a lot of fun with it. Anyway, if you like card crafting, Mystic Vale was greatness. Not heavy, though. I know what you're going to say. You're going to be like, eh.
No, actually, it's weird because when we first got this game, I enjoyed it quite a bit. But my feelings for it has waned over time. It just seems like, and this is just me.
Obviously, I was going to say, it's not
totally
me.
Disagrees with me, but it seems like it kind of plays itself in a way. For me, that's the way it seems. It just seems that turns are very repetitive. Da 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 da. I buy a card.
Well, it's a basic card.
I buy a card.
It's a deck builder.
Yeah. But I've come to a point in my life where straightforward deck builders just don't do it for me.
How dare you?
I want to be moving around on a board. I want to be doing some area control. I want to be fighting people. I want to do something other than...
You move around a board with your eyes. I'm not helping him.
It's a really good game. It's just
not your kind.
It's becoming not my kind of game.
No, because this is it's not a straightforward deck builder per se, because it's hard to craft.
You play all your cards, you buy a card. Yeah. You play all your cards, you buy a card.
You're right.
You play all your cards, buy a victory point card. Play all your cards, buy a card. I mean, it's Dominion, but with card crafting.
I can't believe you said it. This has a fantasy theme, good sir. Totally different.
Dominion has a great theme too.
Shush.
As a medieval theme,
It doesn't
maybe?
have a theme. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. So off the crazy train, on to my number 36, which made an insane leap.
Yeah, I can see it over there, and I'm kind of shocked this is this high because it came out of nowhere. Because you were I thought you were very lukewarm on this game.
I'm not lukewarm on this game, though. I'm not sure why it was so low last year. It must not have gotten played.
I don't know.
That's my guess. Because we
have not played this in a while. I played it recently, but that was without you. So.
Yeah, rude.
Rude.
This game is... we've got the card sleeve thingy on it. Everdell. Okay, thank you, good sir. Everdell. I like this game, and I think why it jumped way up from my 104 to 36 is we got to play it again, and I like... Okay, it's stupidly overproduced for one thing, which I like that. I'm a sucker for that.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. It's got a 3D cardboard tree. You got little bits, like little stones actually feel kind of like rocks. They're like little river stones. And then there's these little squishy berries you can kind of squish around, and they're almost like stress relievers. Just sit there and squish them while you're playing. And I mean, they all have little sticks or little brown stick pieces. They're hilarious. The deluxe edition's ridiculous. But then you've got the cards, and you're doing, again, another little card game with engine building going on, and you're looking for great card combos that'll help build up your town stuff and all its production so that you can start cranking out all this stuff to get victory points. Oh, so cute. And the art, did I mention the art is ridiculous? Look at this. This is the kind of art that's through the whole game. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. The only thing I would say that's a little bit tough with this game is sometimes the card combos. There's some great card combos in here, but there are so many cards to the game, you may not find your mate to your card combo. So you may be getting all excited and you're like, I'm keeping this card, I'm going to play it, and I'll wait and blah, blah, blah. And you're trying to dig through and find it, and you never end up seeing it. So sometimes that happens just because there's so many cards. But obviously, I'm hoping that you wouldn't just pick it for that one thing. I mean, if it doesn't have any benefits, you might want to ditch it and get something else, right? But, I love the gameplay for this. It's another one of those where you're collecting a bunch of resources and stuff. The worker placement in this is crazy tight, though. I feel like I want another meeple or person to be able to do more actions, because you feel like you want to do 40,000 things and you get to do like 2.
Yeah.
But it's, as the time goes with the game, the engine builds up again, so you feel like you're barely getting anything done with those 2 moves, and then at the end of the game, you're like, I do this, but it chains all these different things to produce and do this and that and the other thing, and it's one of those great build-up games. Gorgeous art, ridiculous pieces if you have the collector's edition. So much fun. And Hunter's going to go, meh. Right? Did I? Meh. Oh, there it is.
But... So you touched on a couple of the points that kind of bring this game down a little bit for me. Is that first turn just seems like a throwaway turn. I mean, it's so little. You don't do hardly anything. It seems like that first turn. Mm-hmm. But of course, it compounds. So the couple of things you do on that turn compound into things on later turns, right? But it just seems like you do so little on your first turn.
Okay,
that's fair. One. That's fair. 2 is that I agree 100% on that whole card. You have to dive through the deck to find the cards, and you may never even see the card that you need. A lot of times in this game, it has kind of the things like 7 Wonders if you played it. Basically, you build a building, and it lets you place a person in that building for free. Or basically, so if you build like a laboratory, I'm just making stuff up, laboratory, a scientist dude, you can play it for free with no resources. But invariably, you'll have the laboratory, and you'll hold it, trying to wait to see if the scientist shows up. Like, okay, I'll build this laboratory, and then the scientist never shows up. Yeah, it's just that's just part of it. It seems like they could trim the deck down, maybe somehow. I don't know, but that's part of the game, right? Is when which gear is like, oh, okay, I'm gonna trash it and get rid of this card because I'm not gonna find the mate to it or whatever, right? Yeah. It's a good little game. It's fun. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay.
I told you.
Man, you like the last 10 you had me all excited.
I know. I told you weren't gonna like these because these are all like medium. This is great. This is gonna be a great year. It's gonna be a great list, and then I see how it is.
And then you got these games. Oh, they are.
You'll chill out in the next.
They're all right.
Oh,
I would not turn it down.
no, you wouldn't. You would play any of these.
But I wouldn't personally ask to play those games.
No one's asking you. Okay, sorry. Anyway,
Why am I even here?
I don't know. Funny commentary.
Oh my gosh, I should have said that in the comments.
Well, that was fun. My number 35, I jumped up a little bit too, and it was my number 52 last year.
Ooh.
This is my favorite version of this game, and that is Azul Stained Glass of Sintra. Okay, the base game Azul is fantastic. I think that's going to be one of those classic games for the ages. We've got those tiles. You're making tiles, and you have the nice little board, and you're trying to fill it out the most efficiently as possible. Stained Glass of Sintra does the same sort of thing, except now, instead of having just this straight square board, you've got these strips of cardboard, and instead of what's those candies? The throat lozenge. These look like throat lozenges instead of the I can't think of the name of that candy. Starbursts. Thank you. Yeah, the Starburst candies. These. So let me show you these bad boys. You can kind of see them. See, look at these. Tell me those don't look like. See that? How does that not look like a throat lozenge? But see, now we've got these boards, and you'll make a nice square out of all of these. And I'll show you the bottom. So they all connect to the bottom like so. So they're cute like this. And then once you complete one column like this, you flip it over, and you have the next set to fill out. Once that's done, it's done. And each time you do that, you're going to put one of the tiles down on the bottom here, and you can do a bunch of cool, wacky things to get a bunch of extra combo victory points for that. And basically the first person to get all this done triggers the end, blah, blah, blah. You get victory points for this and that. You can get negative victory points again. This is just so much fun. I love the new way of filling out these columns and trying to tweak how you want to fill them out. I didn't even mention that you can only fill them out in a certain order before you reset, because you have a little meeple at the top and you're moving across and you can't backtrack from behind the meeple. So at some point you have to stop and have basically a reset turn where you put it back at the beginning, because you can only place tiles to the right of where that little guy goes. And once you do that, wherever you start to put your tiles down, then the little meeple goes there from there on out. So this is it's a little bit deeper version of regular Azul. It's just as pretty. I love this. I just like the gameplay a little bit better. I feel like this has got a little more meat to it, and it's here to stay for me. This is by far my favorite.
This is my favorite version as well.
Too?
Yeah,
nice.
I kind of like the third one. I don't even remember what it's called. I don't know.
I totally just drew a blank until you told me that.
One. I don't know what it's called.
Summer Pavilion.
Yeah. Anyway, I like that one too, but this one's definitely my favorite just because it's got combo stuff, right? And Azul, you're just kind of filling out your thing.
Board as best you can,
You're filling out your board, and you're getting points based on columns and rows and all this other stuff. This one has cool combinations that you can actually do.
Yeah.
And there's some strategy on how you move that meeple. There's just a lot more decision. There's a
lot more
bigger decision space. I mean, so you basically have Azul, and then you have all this other stuff on top of it, which people might not want that, right? They might just want the base game. But this one, I enjoy more because there's a better decision space than the original Azul.
It's just, I don't know. It's just, there's something about playing these games that just feels like insta classic to me. I really love.
The whole drafting of the tiles is so smooth and makes a lot of sense.
And it's easy to teach, and it's fun to teach people this because they're like, this is really fun, and you have these bits to play with.
Thing for all of them.
Yeah, I mean that's what I love about Azuls. But this one's my favorite, Stained Glass of Sintra.
Sintra.
All right, my number 34 was my 47 last year. It's jumped up a bit. I think it's because it needs to be played badly because it is so much fun. We always have a fantastic experience every time we do this. This is one of our memory maker games, and that is Time's Up, Title Recall.
We haven't played this one in a while.
We haven't played this one in a while for obvious reasons. But, oh my goodness. Now, this is not for your typical wallflowers. If you have wallflowers in your group, you might want to let them kind of opt out and just be guessers for this, because what happens is you're going to have people go up and there's like 3 rounds to this. And this is what's fun with it. We have Oh, wow. We haven't even opened all of these. Yes. Okay. So let's see. You help me remember the rounds because the first round you can sing, dance, do
People
whatever.
play them differently.
Well, that's true. There's
I don't know what the actual rules are. We play a certain way.
Yeah, but the first round you get to do everything. The next round you have like one word you can use as the clue, and it's the same sets of cards. So a lot of times there's like running jokes and different things that you do during the first round. You want to try to remember each round, or if somebody screws up something, then that of course becomes a joke, and then that sign becomes the one for that. And it's title recall, so it's like song titles, movie titles, just kind of pop culture kind of stuff like that. The final round is the toughest because I think it is no sound whatsoever and only acting.
That's how we play. That's not how the
Oh, what's the
rules?
What's the
I
official?
just read the official rules. Round 1,
Okay.
you can say anything you want. You just can't say words that are in the title.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to pass.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Round 2, when you've gone through all the cards, round 2 is one word.
Yeah.
And then you can make as much sounds and motions as you want.
Okay.
Round 3 is no words.
I said that.
But you can make as much sounds and motions that you want.
That's basically what I said.
You said no sounds.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
Oh, well, you can make sounds apparently.
Yes.
That's cool. Wow, we made it hard on ourselves.
Yes.
Okay,
basically, we played the third round a lot of times with just charades, basically.
Yeah, basically just pure silence, which is hilarious anyway. So this is one of those team games that you almost can do a more is the merrier kind of thing. I think I don't know if they set a limit. Do they set a person limit on it? You really don't need to. Just do it with teams and have fun with it. Oh my gosh, this game is a riot every time. Because even if you don't know what they are, you can figure out a way to sign it to people with the titles, and people start to, as you go to the second and the third round, your team's going to remember which ones you don't know anyway. So there's kind of like a memory element to this game, remembering all the different titles that could be popping up because they get shuffled through each round. This is such a goofy, fun game. So much fun. And you're hugging it pretty much. So I'm assuming you like it.
No. Actually, I do like it. This is probably my favorite pure party game.
Yeah.
I know there's some games that people might consider party games, but what I consider pure party games, this is my favorite, I think. This and Telestrations kind of duke it out for my favorite.
Oh, I can see that.
But yeah, I think I like this one better just because I like acting the fool, because that's what I do. That's what I do.
Is it?
Yep. So
awesome.
Anyway, this is a good one. This is a fun one. This is just get a bunch of people together and act silly. But
fantastic.
Like she said, there's not necessarily always not everyone's cup of tea to get up and act.
But sometimes if you have a big enough group too, just if somebody doesn't want to do that, they can just be guessers, and that's awesome. And then you're still participating and having a good time without having stress, which is what it's all about, having fun.
No stress.
No stress.
No stress included.
No stress included. All right, my number 33 was my 31 last year, so I think it's in its correct
slot. You got a lot of games that are right in the same area.
I know, see, and you were giving me grief.
No, I'm giving you grief because they're all light and fluffy.
Well, this one's nice and medium.
Yeah.
And that is Concordia!
Finally.
Yay!
Took you long enough.
This one's in the salsa box. This is an expansion box. We just liked the box.
We always the expansion box.
If we like it, we keep it.
We usually keep the expansion box because we're weird that way.
Okay, anyway, so Concordia, this is the quintessential trading in the Mediterranean game. In fact, this may be the game where all that title even started. This is such a good game. So you're going through and you're exploring the Roman Empire region, and you could go by land or by boat.
There's all kinds of maps.
That's true, there are.
Yes.
But
the one we usually play is the Roman Empire
area.
Yeah.
Because we like the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Trading in the Mediterranean, in fact. So as you're doing that, and you go and you can put a little house down, and when you do that, when those regions come up for production, you get to produce stuff, and you're like, yay, I have stuff, and I have goods now, and you get to do good stuff with goods, and doing this and around, and you get your victory points. Standard protocol for like so many games. Then there's also the cool little, oh gosh, what do they call the people cards?
I don't know.
My brain.
They're cards.
My brain. Thank you. You're helpful. The little leader dudes that do.
There's tons of cards. It's basically that's your deck. There's a whole deck.
Yeah, there's a whole deck of different cards, and they have different jobs and stuff.
Different deities.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're deities on this.
Yes.
Okay, for some reason I was thinking they were just different workers.
No.
Yes, the different deities, and they give you different abilities and things and victory points. Because every game has victory points.
Yeah, it's at its heart as a deck building game. It's got all the other stuff. See, this is the kind of deck building game I like.
Yeah, because you're doing the deck building on the side.
Why am I rubbing the front? The upside down map here. There's stuff. You're doing stuff on a map.
You're doing the map and you're traveling.
But it is a deck building game. You're trying to streamline your deck. You're trying to do set collection within that. Like you said, with the different deities, they score in different ways.
It's so much fun.
It's a good one. It's a fun little game. It's got resource management. It's got kind of almost a pressure luck element on flipping over all the tiles. Basically, you can get a bunch of money. Basically, as you're producing in different regions, they flip over. They have coins on them, and you go, okay, I'm not going to produce. I'm going to take all the coins and reset it. So this has got a lot of cool stuff going on.
It's got so much going on.
We haven't played with a lot of different maps. In fact, I think we just have the base game maps, and I don't know if Salsa came with a map. Does it came with a map?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it came with a map.
Oh, did it? That's right. It made it bigger.
We've only played the base game and the Salsa maps is the only ones we played.
But that's sufficient because we love those maps and we have a lot of fun with it. It's so good. And the salsa thing is just adding salt into the mix.
It's a wild resource, basically.
Yeah. So it doesn't do a whole lot more, but it's fun with it. I really like what they do with it. Kind of mixes things up a little bit, adds some more card play into it too. And it's the like trading in the Mediterranean game. I can't get, that's what this was. This is like when did this game even come out? It was
I don't know.
While ago.
You're looking at Salsa.
Salsa. Okay,
Concordia has been around for at least 10
Salsa
years.
came out in 2015, and that was several years after Concordia came out. So this is another one of those that's older. It's like the granddaddy of the trading in the Mediterranean kind of style games like this.
No, there's much older ones. But this is one
This is the one everybody knows.
A lot of people have played.
This is one that kind of falls on everyone's. It's just kind of like it's like home. It feels like home. Yeah.
Because it shows up on a lot of people's top lists. It just not necessarily way high up on their list, but it's like consistently on a lot of people's lists just because it plays so smooth.
It's smooth. It's not super long. Yep. It could play a nice player count. It plays well at any player count. And it's easy to read. It's not a bear to teach.
And there's salt.
Salsa.
This has got the best cover. So this dude here.
This is the best cover.
This dude is selling this guy some salt, right?
But he's standing.
But there's salt everywhere. So they can just take the little boat and park here and just take salt and throw on their boat.
It's like he's in the Arctic trying to sell ice cream.
This guy own all this salt. All this
Maybe that's all his salt. And he's like, dude, you're standing on my salt.
I don't know.
That's a salt, brother.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I did.
We're done yet.
I know. All right, so my number 32 dipped a bit from number 15.
Oh my gosh, from 15.
I probably had
Punitation Nation.
Punitation Nation?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
It's gonna be the show.
No.
Punitation Nation.
No.
That's what they call the groups, like the fans, like the different fan groups. They call it the nation.
The nation.
So it's Punitation Nation. Or is it Punination?
No, it's not. That just sounds wrong and horrible on all.
So what dropped all the way from your 15 down to the dregs of 30s?
The dregs. So much sorry.
Oh, this thing? Oh, I thought you loved this game.
It's number 32.
Oh man, I hate this game now.
Game. Yes, I clearly hate this game at my number 32.
No, I think you got like all.
I had Cult of the New with it, and I was like,
you were like, Elvis.
Wow. Okay, I was indoors a little bit long by the time this came out. All right. It's COVID. So the Castles of Tuscany is a Stefan Feld game. And this is puts Castles of Burgundy on notice, man. This is yes, it does.
This is a lesser. Anyway, go ahead. I'll talk after you're done.
It is a better, more interesting version to me on many levels. And I did say it, so there. What's neat about this, it still has your little player board, and you're filling it out with different tiles of different, trying to fill in the color zones and this and that. But what's neat and new is they've added some different little elements to it and tweaked it around a bit. Like the thing that really got me with this one in particular is that it's got the 2 scoring tracks. And I really like that because each round now you're doing a scoring and you've got your like round tracker that you can kind of ramp up. You want to score early on that because it's going to score every round of the game. And then at the end of each round, you're transferring that to your main scoring round dial. So that's kind of fun because it just brings on a little bit more like impetus to want to score something, anything, just to get those points, because now they're going to score 2, 3, 4 times before the end of the game. That's really cool. So you really want to do that. It's got a lot of other, it's got some little card interplay and some other stuff that's a little bit different from Castles of Burgundy, but it still has a lot of that pointy salad feel to it, and it's smooth gameplay. Still has the typical Stefan Feld plays great at 2-player, plays great at any player count that he's got it set for. 2 to 4 players is typical. And then it also is, 45. This one's even quicker though. 45 to 60 minutes. That's what it says on here. Boom. I mean, okay, I can see why this one might go a little too fast for you.
No, this makes me want, I play this, I'm like, I enjoy it. I have a good time.
Yeah.
But
you want to play Castles?
It makes me want to play Castles of Burgundy.
I guess I can see that.
Because it's like it's like the appetizer. It's the Castle of Burgundy appetizer. Nah, a little bit more than appetizer.
It's a little more than that.
It's like an appetizer and dessert, but you don't get your main course. It's like I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, it's fun if you're looking for a streamlined. For the longest time, we were suggesting all kinds of other games for kind of the intro Feld. This is probably the best. It's probably the best intro Feld now because it's streamlined, easy to teach, makes a lot of sense. It's quick to set up, quick to play.
And it has a lot of those elements that he has in it, a lot of his other games too, but at not quite so heavy version of it, right? So it's great to welcome you to the table.
And you can easily transition to Burgundy from this because it's very
You already know basically the game.
Yeah, for the most part.
Not quite as dicey. This one has less
some dice play that you don't have, and there's not the cards. Instead of using dice to draft tiles and stuff like that, you're using cards to do it. So
maybe that's why I like it better too.
But it flies. It's half the time that Burgundy takes to play. So.
That's true too.
I will not begrudge this choice.
Darn right. But
I will begrudge that you hate it now. It more than doubled.
It did double. It's true. It's true. But it was a little cold to the new, and it breached my top 20 though. That's still saying something. That's pretty good.
Not top 20.
No, it did the first year.
Oh yeah,
so it's
but
a good
now
game.
It's down in the 30s. It's throwaway.
It's still up there.
We should call it.
Oh my gosh. Why? Well, on that note,
I'm very
antagonistic today.
Is that the word?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say aggressive, but I'll take that.
That works too.
I'll take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
31. Let's do it.
Got to have some technical.
Here comes the heavy hitter. We need a big heavy game. Let's do it.
Kind of, yeah. It's
Really?
a medium weight. It's medium
Finally.
weight. And it's new to the list.
Concordia is kind of heavy.
Yeah.
A new game.
Genotype. Okay, so this one's in shrink because the original game that we played was not ours, but we enjoyed it so much, and we turned around and said, "Hey, we're going to get this for ourselves so that we can play it all the stinking time." We love it. So Genotype is you remember back in high school when you had to do Punnett squares and stuff, learn about that in biology class, and oh boy, Hunter's going to open it up so we can peek at it. So you're doing Punnett squares and you're learning about the different types of peas and, like if they're...
P's and Q's?
Yeah, are they more yellow? Are they green? Are they the wrinkly ones? Or like all the different little types of the plants and stuff. And here you are, you're doing your own experiments and trying to get these things and doing collections with them and trying to collect the right types that are being sought for. Do little Punnett squares on your own board and figuring out, and then you go and oh man, every round you got to do these little baby Punnett squares. I just nerded out on it. It's got, and it also relies a little bit on the roll of the dice chance with your genetics, which kind of thematic. Here's the cool board. So as you can see here, you've got little things, and this is what's going to be produced each round, and they'll have different tiles and stuff, and you're trying to go across and recruit all these different things. And then you've got different plots, so you're trying to plant different plants so you can get different results for the board. Oh, I love this game. It's so much fun. Yes, it has dice, but I feel like it really truly is thematic with that because it's
dice drafting. You're all drafting from the same pool.
Yeah, you're drafting from the same pool, so everyone's kind of suffering now. The only thing is, you, of course, with turn order and stuff, you're sniping each other potentially, sniping away some of those things. It's very important, but it's fun. It's so much fun, and I love it. It's another one of those that's in the sweet spot for gameplay. I think the max it says 75 minutes. I think the first time we played it was probably close to 70 minutes, thereabouts. 1 to 5 players, plays great at 3. Didn't we play it at 2?
Only played it at 3.
Only played it at 3 so far, but plays great. It's so much. I just love it. And then of course the little cards that have the workers on it give you little special abilities to do certain things to kind of help you with your set collection or run the experiments or maybe tweak the dice in your favor, that sort of thing. Oh, so much fun. So nerdy fun. This is like good nerdy fun. And you were excited about this one.
Yeah, I'm happy about it. Took you long enough to get
oh my goodness.
I like all those games. But anyway, Genotype, this is our next to play. It's actually been queued up on our table to be played next, and we just haven't gotten to it yet. I want to play this again and try it out at 2-player, see how it goes. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I like this one. This is sciencey, nerdy goodness. So
it's got some meat to it, and you really do little Punnett squares. I just have fun. It's not super big, complicated ones or anything, but this is kind of fun to actually.
It's a good one. It's a fun little game. It's by the Genius Games. They've done several. They do a lot of sciencey type games that are popular. But yeah, I like this one. We played it, and then we ended up getting it, and we haven't had a chance to play it yet. It's been on our shelf of shame for a couple of months, and like I said, it's next.
It is next in line.
Next in the queue.
Might play it now after this filming.
Not likely.
Maybe. I might.
But no, it's a good choice. I like this one. I'm excited to play this one. So yeah.
So it's okay then.
I
have
approve.
this at my
Finally,
31.
I approve.
Okay. Well, there you have it. There's my 40 through 31, a variety pack, as it were, a little bit different from the craziness of last week. These went skewed a little lighter. But I can't say that that's going to happen next week.
Good.
Do you know what's going to happen next week? No, you don't.
I do.
But I do.
30 to 21.
That's true.
It's not actually next week. It'll be a couple of days.
Next time. I'll amend it a bit. So stay tuned for next time where I do my 30 through 21.
The middle of the best.
Really good games. Don't listen to the haters.
I'm not hating. I'm
appreciating all my games.
I'm appreciating.
That's right. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Click subscribe to join our wonderful viewer community.
Want to be notified when we upload a new video or go live? Click on the little bell below.